Good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful Saturday morning. I like cloudy weather, so it's cloudy weather right now. My name is Summer. If you don't know me, I am the general manager of Firestorm Freerunning Acrobatics in Moreno Valley, which is our Galaxy location. Good morning. It's bright and early. I hope you're up with me. If you're not, you're catching me at some more convenient time for you guys, and that's totally okay. Thank you so much for Coach Justin, who took over for me and showed off a little bit of our Westminster location, which is Firestorm Ultra. Thank you so much. He had a blast with you guys and even got a good stretch workout for himself. So I'm glad to be back with you guys. Today we are going to be needing a couple things, not too many things. If you can tell, I am wearing two different colored socks. Again, just so you guys know, my lefts and my rights and what your lefts and your rights should be. You guys don't have to wear the different colored socks, but I use it as a visual for you guys. So if you guys do need to replay or repeat anything and see it as what leg is on top or whatever, you guys will have a visual cue for that. A couple things you'll be needing is a yoga mat or a blanket or some sort of padding. We're going to be spending some time laying down on our hips or our sides, so we're going to try and reduce any discomfort that might be. So we'll be either folding up a blanket, yoga mat, anything like that. And then we're also going to be needing, if you would like, shoes or ankle weights. You don't have to. I'm not going to be wearing them today, but if you do want to give yourself some sort of a challenge, or you're like, hey, I could probably do this while binging Netflix or watching something while wearing my shoes, you definitely can. Beautiful. So, first of all, let's make sure our space is cleared, that we're not going to disrupt any animals and cause them to freak out or be nervous. So, making sure everything's all clear, getting our yoga mat out, and we will get started with mobility. Alright, starting off with our head and straight posture. Our feet are going to be shoulder width distance apart. We're going to start rolling off our neck. So we're chin to chest and rolling right ear to right shoulder, back, left ear to left shoulder, back to chest. And remembering to breathe while doing this as well. And let's go for one more full rotation. And then once your chin meets the center of your chest, you want to roll into the opposite direction. So left ear to left shoulder, back to the right. And once your chin reaches the center of your chest, you're going to roll your shoulders backward, feeling every snap, crackle, pop that there is. It's morning. You might have Rice Krispies for breakfast, or you might just roll out your shoulders, and that's sufficient enough. And rolling those shoulders forward. And stopping there, your right arm is going to come across your chest, and your left arm is going to help give that a little bit of pressure and a little bit of challenge. You want to make sure that your chin and your arm do not make contact. You want to have straight posture and not lean over or slouch. And that same arm, that right arm, is going to come down and up behind your head, bending at the elbow, and your hand is going to try and reach your back. Your left arm or your left hand is going to give a little bit of extra weight if you need it. And remember, same thing, our chin and our chest do not make contact. Beautiful. And opening up those arms, your left arm is now going to be the arm across your body, and your right arm is just going to give that slight pressure. Same thing, make sure your chin and your arm do not make contact. Alright, and bringing that left arm down and behind us, bending at the elbow, reaching for the center of our back. That right arm is applying some pressure at the elbow. and bringing those arms out. And we're just going to widen our feet a little bit. We had them originally at shoulder width. Now we're just going to spread them out a little bit wider than shoulder width. And we're just going to dip on over to the left side, up and over. Nothing too drastic. And we're going to go to the right side as well, or left side. So we're just going to be going from back and forth. When I am leaning over to my right side, my right arm does connect to my right leg, just to give me some extra added support. I am super flexy on my sides, so if I don't have any support, I kind of go all the way down. So I'm using my arm to give my left side a little bit extra of a stretch. Beautiful. What we're going to do next is we are going to slowly squat our legs, and we're going to reach towards the ground. So we're in this almost frog-like squat. Our hands are going to try and make contact with the floor. If they are, awesome. If not, then no worries. Hands close to the floor and pushing those hips up. So we are now in our forward fold with our legs a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. For me, my knuckles are on the ground. If I wanted to, I can place my hands flat on the ground, or I can place them reversed to where my palm is up. But for me, where it's comfortable is my knuckles. And I'm going to give a slight bend to my knees, going into a squat, and pushing those hips up. We're just waking up the hip flexors, going into that squat, and hips up. And we're just going to wiggle out our hips. I do bend one knee when I shift over my hips. This is just popping anything that needs to be popped and opening it up, providing cover for my cats. All right, beautiful. And squatting all the way down low. Elbows are going to be on our knees. We're going to hang out here. Hello. My left elbow is going to be replaced with my left hand, and I'm going to push towards the left and face the right direction. And switching over to the opposite side, so right hand and right knee, looking over to the left. And coming back to the middle, my hands are going to brace on the ground. And I'm going to come all the way down. I'm going to roll out my ankles real quick. Coming into a pike. My right leg is going to come over my left knee, or my right foot's going to come over my left knee, grabbing my right ankle and my right foot. I'm going to rotate my ankle in one direction. Ooh, that was a big pop. And rotating in the other direction. All right, and that foot is going to place flat on the ground. We're going to go into our Hollywood stretch. So my left arm and my right leg are going to meet on the outside, and I'm going to push and follow through with that direction to the right side. And beautiful. Coming undone, taking that right foot off. That left foot is going to come up and over my right knee, grabbing my left ankle, and my right hand is grabbing my toes and rolling out that ankle in one direction. Ooh, this one's extra crunchy today. And rotating in the opposite direction. And my left foot is going to make contact with the ground. My right arm and my left leg are going to make contact on the outside, and I'm going to follow through with that turn. All right, beautiful, and slowly coming undone. We are going to get into the warm-up portion of our class today. what I'm going to be doing today for a warm-up is a little bit different than what we've done before. I used to work at a fitness studio before I worked at Firestorm, and this was our warm-up just to get our blood moving, and it really works the outside flexibility of your legs, which we don't really focus on a lot. So we're going to go through warm-ups, going through one of my old favorites. This is the time where you'd want to grab your shoes and or your ankle weights. Or if you just want to, feel it out, see how difficult it is for you guys, you don't have to wear shoes or ankle weights. I am, again, wearing the different colored socks. So this is my right leg with my black sock. This is my left leg with my gray sock. So just in case. I'm going to move Sir Artemis. He knows I'm going to move him. So go ahead and grab your mat or your blankets or your padding. And I'm going to move him. Alright, starting off on our right side is going to be facing down. Our left leg is going to be on top. My right leg is going to be the one that is closest to the bottom. I'm going to give that a slight bend. And I'm going to be propped up here on my elbow. You don't want to be laying all the way down because that's not really going to give you the workout and the mobility and the warm-up that you need this morning. So prop yourself up on your elbow and your hand. My left leg is going to come to the front and it's going to point through that leg. And my left arm is also going to be in front of my stomach as well. I'm going to almost be swimming my leg to the back. So the left leg is going to point through. And I'm going to follow that foot with my head until it bends in the back. I'm going to bring that knee close to my chest, point out and extend, and repeat. So I'm just going to be pushing and swimming through this. This also helps you work on your extension for your leg. Also gets that hip mobility going. And now you might be realizing, I get what she means. If you need to put padding underneath your right hip, you are more than welcome to do so. Or if you need to bend your mat so your hip gets a little bit extra of padding, more than welcome to. So pointing out in front of us, following that foot all the way to the back where it'll bend, knee to your chest, and front. So your left hand in front of you is really just for stability and balance, but if you want to put it on your hip, so you can focus more on your leg and your toe point, you're more than welcome to. And once that foot finds the front again, you're going to stop here and you're going to do little pulses. So you're just going to pulse that left leg up and down, pointing through that toe and pointing through that leg as well. Little pulses here. You should be feeling this on the outside of your hip, or actually your glute. Whew. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flex that foot. You're going to feel it more towards your calf. And remember to breathe. All right, beautiful. That left leg is going to line up with your spine and your body. It's going to come straight down below you, and you're just going to do kicks up towards the ceiling. So what that means is my right leg is still bent beneath me to give me more stability so I'm not rocking back and forth. And my left leg is going to kick up to the ceiling with a pointed toe, as high as I can, and down to the ground. I don't want to bop you on your head, buddy. And stopping there, so your leg is as far straight as you can. If you're a little bit lower, that is totally okay as well. But we want to get it as much to the ceiling as we possibly can. And we want to do little circles with our leg. This is my non-dominant side, so my circles kind of look like squares or like crumpled pieces of paper. And then if you want to challenge yourself as well, come to the mid halfway point and give yourself little circles. This also works the outside of your leg and your glute. And come all the way down. And I'm doing probably about 4 circles total. All right, beautiful. We are going to come to the opposite side. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a far better side. My now dominant leg, my right leg, is going to be on top. My left side is going to be on the bottom. My left hand and elbow are propping me up on the side. And my right leg is coming out in front of me in a point. And I'm going to push through, bend at the back, bring that knee to my chest, and point it out again. Beautiful. Once that leg comes to the front, we're going to keep it out in the front. With the pointed toe, we are going to do our little pulses. I definitely feel it in my hips and the outside of my leg. And flexing that foot. Oh, Bobby. All right, beautiful. That leg is going to come straight down. And we're going to do our kicks up to the ceiling. So kicking up and down. Remember, if you do need to place some extra padding underneath your hip, you are more than welcome to. Alright, beautiful. Oh my goodness, I definitely feel it in my hip. Next thing is our leg is straight up to the ceiling and we'll be doing our little circles. So leg up to the ceiling, little circles. Mine actually looks like a triangle for some reason. And midway point. And all the way down. Beautiful. Awesome, friends. So what we're going to go and do is we are going to go and grab a drink of water. We are going to put our shoes away. We don't need them anymore, or our ankle weights. Go ahead, grab a drink of water. I'm definitely going to grab a drink of water. I am sweating already. Wrong tube. Oh my goodness. Alright, friends, coming back after a drink of water. Hello, how's it going? I hope you didn't choke while drinking your water. I definitely did. So alright, I think some still might be in there, so excuse me. Alright, we are going to go more into our hip mobility and our hip flexibility. That warm up in the mobility drill should have warmed you guys up. If you guys aren't warmed up enough, put on some ankle weights or some shoes for that, because I am already warm. And I already know that it is raining outside and it is cold, so, and we don't have the heater on, so it's good that I'm flexy and warm and mobile. It's always good to be warm when you are going into your deep stretches. That's going to help. Never stretch cold. That will always cause injury and doesn't really help you with your flexibility in a long standing state. So make sure you're warm before you go into any deep stretches. That being said, since we're all warm, let's do it to it. All right, so my right leg is going to be in the front. I'm actually going to do my triangle rocks. You guys had a taste of this when I also wore my my opposite socks the last time we did it, but we are going to be adding in a little bit something extra at the end. So I'm going to go into actually my triangle rocks first. So going into triangle rocks, my right leg is going to be the one that's in front of me. My left leg is going to be the one that is behind me. I'm going to push all my weight to the front to where my back foot actually points off of the ground. And then I'm going to shift all my weight to the back, where my back leg is flat on the ground and my right leg is flexed. So just going back and forth from here to there, wherever you feel comfortable. And remembering to breathe, we are upside down. Beautiful, and what I'm going to do is my right leg is going to stay on the ground. My left leg is going to shoot back as much as possible. I'm going to find my balance wherever that may be. Once I do, I'm going to bring my hands to my knee. I'm in a deep right lunge. My knee is off the ground. If you feel comfortable there and you feel like you have balance, try and raise your shoulders and your chest to where they line up with your waist or your hips. And remember always to square off your hips. You don't want to be opening up your hips to where you're facing outwards. We want to have a straight line, almost having almost a ruler or like a flat edge, making sure our hips are facing towards and lining up with our yoga mat. So shoulders over our hips. If you want to bring your hands up, more than welcome to. Giving a little bit extra of a challenge, you can lean back as well. All right, hands coming to your front knee. You're going to rest that back knee, that left knee towards the ground, and your left foot is going to straighten out so the top of your foot is now on the ground. So pushing through those hips. All right, hands on either side of your front leg. You're going to push your hips back, and you're going to straighten out that front leg. Try to get your chin to your knee and your nose to your toes. And right now that front foot is still pointed. All right, and flexing that front foot. You should feel that a little bit more into your calf. And pointing out that front foot. And now we're going to rotate that front foot from pinky toe to big toe. So we're just rolling that leg inside, outside. And straightening out. And leaning towards that deep lunge. What we're going to do next is that the toes and the knees are going to lift up and rotate towards the outside. So if you're right here and you're like, I'm good up on my arms and I don't need to go any further, totally don't have to. If you want to challenge yourself, go down to your elbows. See how it feels. Alright, and coming back up, what you're going to do is you're going to fix those toes and those knees. They're going to point straight forward. Your hands are going to be on either side. And now we're going to go into our pigeon stretch. So my right foot is going to scooch all the way down until I am in my pigeon stretch. So my back leg is completely straight. My right leg is bent in front of me. Right now I pretty much have an almost 90-degree angle from right here on the front of my body. So if you are not here and you need to scooch your foot closer to you, you're more than welcome to. I give myself a little bit more extra of a challenge just because I need to get my splits back. Alright, and we're going to rock your hips open and close. So that means I am rolling back onto my booty, and then I am facing and straightening out towards the front of my mat. So opening and closing. My hands are bracing in front if I need a little bit extra support. Alright, and squaring off those hips, you're going to face forward and you're going to go as far down as comfortable. And slowly backing up those hands all the way until your shoulders are over your hips. Once they are, you're going to look up towards the ceiling. Alright, and coming into a neutral position, what we're going to do is the same like last time. If you do need a towel or a resistance band, you do not need it right now. I'm not going to force you or try and get you into that stretch more. If you want to just actively try and reach your foot, you're more than welcome to. If you're also in your pigeon and you're just lifting up your foot and that's enough of a workout, I want you to lift it up for 5 seconds while we do our more intermediate advanced do reach for their foot. So, our first one, we are going to reach towards the inside of our foot, and our foot is going to press into our hand for 5 seconds. My beginners, if you're just lifting your leg, you are lifting your leg for 5 seconds. Ready, and pushing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Beautiful. Next thing, we're going to take a little bit of a break, 2-second break, just to readjust and make sure our body is feeling okay. My more intermediate advanced, we are going to lift over our toes and our fingers, and we are going to push towards our booty. So we are going to push into our booty and our hips for 5 seconds. My more beginner, you're just lifting your leg again, or your back leg again. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful, and setting down. All right, so we are going to get into our weird twisty pretzel thing. For my beginners and intermediates, we're going to do our 90-90 legs. So what that means is my right leg is in a 90-degree angle in front of me. My left leg is also in a 90-degree angle behind me. What we're going to do is now you're going to be able to grab that back foot, which is my left foot. I'm grabbing it more towards the base of the heel and behind my foot. I'm grabbing that with my left arm. My left leg is going to come and I'm going to grab it, still grabbing it in front of me. So now I'm sitting. I'm going to get this right leg and scooch it a little closer towards me. If I need to make adjustments where I'm grabbing onto my ankle or my calf, I just want to make sure that both hip flexors are on the ground. Both hips are on the ground. That leg is as straight in front of me as I can, and your posture is straight as well. This left leg is now going to twist and come to the right side of my body. And just like our Hollywood stretch, my right arm and my left arm are going to connect, and I'm going to continue that twist. I know that was a lot. We're in a pretzel-y, weird, twisty movement, but it's all going to make sense in just a second. So see how I am pulling or turning towards my left side and I'm coming to a stop? That is what we want to do. When we're coming out of this position, however, we're going to turn to the right. When we turn to the right, our feet are going to find their placement on the ground. So my right leg right now is kind of flipped over, so it's on the blade of my foot and the top of my foot, but twisting towards the right. My right hand is going to come to the mat, and my booty is going to scooch. My left hand is going to come to the mat, and I'm going to twist, so I'm in my downward dog. Wow! I untwisted my legs. Yay! coming into our other-sided triangle rock. So we're going to have our left leg in front of us now. My gray sock is in the front, and shifting my weight to the front so my back is on its toes, and same thing, shifting my weight to the back, my front leg is flexed, and triangle rocks here. Alright, and last rock. Our left leg is going to be the leg that's in our front lunge. Our right leg is going to make its way behind. We are going to find our balance on either side of our legs. Once we find our balance there, we're going to slowly come up. Challenge yourself if you need to. If you're like, I just stayed on the ground or my hands were on the ground last time, try and find that balance to where your hands are on your knees. If your hands were on your knees before, try and get your shoulders to line up with your hips. Same thing, arms up if you want to give yourself the ultimate challenge and lean back. And back knee coming to the ground, flatten out that foot, and push into those hips. And hands on either side of that front leg, pushing those hips back, straightening out that front leg. Trying to get your chin to your knee and your nose to your toes. And flexing that front foot. Woo. Pointing out that front foot. Rotate that leg from pinky toe to big toe. Alright, and straightening out, pushing those hips forward. Those knees and those toes are going to turn to the outside. Hands are going to come to the inside of that leg. If you're up in your hands, that's okay. If you're down on your elbows, awesome. Sit there for a minute. Feel that deep stretch in that hip. And hands coming up. Hands on either side of that front leg, bringing those nose and those toes in. Same thing like the other side, you're going to inch your foot all the way until you're in your pigeon stretch. And feel where you need it. If you need to bring your foot closer to you, that's okay. If you want to start to inch out your foot ever so slightly, always recommended and appreciated. And we're going to open and close those hips. So rolling back onto that booty and then squaring off to face the edge of your mat. Alright, and squaring off to the front of your mat. Arms reach out in front of you as much as you can. And hands slowly walking their way back up. All the way to where your shoulders and your hips are on top of each other and looking up towards the ceiling. Alright, and same thing just like the other side. If If we are just lifting our back leg so it's off the ground, that's totally fine, lifting that for 5 seconds. For my intermediate and advanced that know or can't connect their hand to their foot, we are going to do so. So grabbing the inside of that foot, we are going to push that foot into our hand for 5 seconds. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Woo. And now, fingers over those toes, you're going to push it into your booties for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Awesome. So coming into our 90-90s, my left leg is in front of me in a 90-degree angle, and my right leg is behind me, or at least to the side of me, in a 90-degree angle. My right hand and my right foot are going to connect, and I'm going to sit back on my hips and bring that leg in front of me, either grabbing my heel, my calf, my knee, anywhere where it is straight in front of me. Keeping both hip flexors on the ground. Bring that bottom leg in, that left leg in closer. My right leg is going to make a connection with the floor on my left side. My left arm and my right leg are going to twist like our Hollywood stretch. Ooh. Alright, and we are going to unwind just like we did our other side. My left arm is going to come off of my leg, and I'm going to turn to my left, and I'm going to, my left hand on the ground, right hand on the ground, and twisting up and over. Awesome, guys. And we are going to take a short break right here. So, coming into our forward fold, bend those knees slightly. Slowly rolling all the way up. Last thing up is going to be our head. Let's go grab a drink of water, and I'll see you back here in a second. Alright, and coming back, we are coming into the couple last workouts or stretches for our AcroFlex for this morning. We are going to be going into a little bit more of our side to sides or our outside of our leggies. So let's get into that. So coming into your forward fold on your mat, you're going to come all the way down. Woo. My feet are a little bit, they're not put together right now. They're about a hip width distance apart. And that's okay because we are going to walk our hands down and come into our downward dog. So our hands are on the mat. Our feet are towards the end of the mat. So, something you may notice is my heels don't all the way connect to the ground. That is totally okay. What I want you guys to focus on is pushing your shoulders and your armpits towards the ground, to where your arms and your back or your spine are completely aligned. So coming into this, pushing through those armpits and those shoulders, try and push those heels into the ground. We're actually going to walk out those legs, so bending one leg at a time and straightening out the other, back and forth. If you realize one side is going to need a little bit more of a stretch, you can hang out there. Beautiful. Both legs on the ground, both heels on the ground. You're going to center your left foot in between your hands, and then that left foot. Your right leg is going to lift towards the ceiling, and you're going to bend at the knee, and you're going to try and look over your shoulder to where that foot is. And on, that leg coming back down. And we're going to walk those legs out again real quick. All right, hands centered, right foot is going to come towards the center, left leg is going to come into the air, bending at the knee, looking over our shoulder for that foot. And coming down. Beautiful. What we're going to come next is we're going to come to our hands and our knees. I'm going to fix my shirt real quick. We're going to go into our child's pose and our cat stretch. So let's get into our child's pose first. Why I like having my mat, or at least a marker like a towel, so I know where my knees go. So with my child's pose, I'm going to try and get my knees to the outside of that mat. And then I'm going to walk my hands down towards the center, keeping my booty on my heels. One of the things you realize when you are down here is that your booty does lift off of your heels. If you have someone with you or a sibling, this is a great stretch to have them with you, is that they can push down on your hips so your heels and your hips connect together. And that is totally optional. Fingers are going to come up if you're all the way flat. All right, and my arms are going to walk towards the left side of my body. My arms are going to come to the right side of my body. And coming center. All right, and slowly walking up. So now we're going to go into our cat stretch. As you may have noticed, Coach Freelove and I have cats. They go into a very, very standard stretch that is seen across all of the feline world. Yeah, big cats, small cats, even us humans do it because it is a great stretch. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be keeping my knees together and my feet together. Right now I'm making sure that my hips and my knees are aligned. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to come into my tabletop. And then I am going to leave my hips and my knees above each other. If you have a reflective surface, a mirror or anything like that, it is a great way. Or if you have like Coach Freelove, who is showing me, he's my reflective surface right now. So pretty, oh my goodness. So I'm going to keep my hips and my knees aligned. And then I'm going to come all the way down. Ooh. Again, if we have a sibling or a parent or another person, they can help align you, making sure that your hips and knees are straight. They can even push down on your low back to give you a little bit deeper of a stretch. And remembering to breathe. Please breathe. All right, and slowly coming out of that. Oh my goodness. I am all stretched out. We're going to come into our cool down stretches. It's going to be a little bit lengthier than our previous stretches, but it'll be great for your legs and getting that hip flexibility. And also keeping your body warm. I'm probably going to throw on a sweater after this because it is a little bit rainy and cloudy outside. But we are going to come lying down on our mats completely. So all the way down. Make sure you don't lay down on the cattail. All right. And bringing my right knee into my chest, I'm going to rotate that ankle in one direction. And rotating it in the opposite direction. And pointing out straight. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to point and flex my toes, pointing all the way down and flexing. And with my point, I'm going to bring my leg up to the ceiling, wherever it may be. If your hands are behind your knees, awesome, or behind your calf, wherever you feel comfortable. I'm going to point that toe, and then I'm going to flex it to bend back into my knee, and then point again to the ceiling, and flexing back down. I'm going to bring my knee to my right armpit, so my right knee and my right armpit are connected right now. I'm just pulling it over to the side. My right leg is going to hook underneath my right thigh, and I'm either going to point my leg up and grab behind my knee or my thigh. I could grab higher with my opposite leg or opposite arm, and then I'm going to flex coming down and point up and flex down. All right, bringing that knee back into your chest. Your foot is going to point and your left arm is going to come to the right side of your leg, and you're going to push that across your body. Oh my goodness. The cracks you probably heard were Coach Freeliv's neck, but my spine did decompress. Whew. And opening up those legs into a figure four, so my right leg is on top of my left. My left leg, which is straight down on the bottom, is going to come up, and I'm going to intertwine my fingers between my legs and onto the side, and I'm going to bring that knee closer to my chest. Oh my goodness. And we're going to go into the opposite leg. So my left leg is now into my chest. I'm pointing out that toe. My right leg is on the bottom. And I'm going to roll out my ankle in one direction. And rolling out in the other direction. And I'm pointing that foot and flexing and pointing and flexing. And same thing, I'm going to grab underneath my thigh, I'm going to point my foot, and it's going to extend all the way to the ceiling. It's my less practice side, so I'm just grabbing right behind my knee and flexing to bring it down. One more time, pointing that toe to bring it up. And flexing to come down. I'm going to bring that leg out to my armpit, so my left knee and left armpit connect. Pointing that toe. And hooking underneath my left leg, I'm going to point that toe to extend. Flex to bring it down. Point to extend. And flex to bring it down. Beautiful. Pointing at that foot, we're going to bring our right arm to the outside of our left leg and push that over our body. Oof. And opening up so you're in a figure four. Your right leg is on the bottom. You're going to bring that right leg to you. Intertwine those fingers behind that leg and bring that knee closer to you. Whew. Oh my goodness. Alright, and slowly unwind those legs. Come on slowly up to the top whenever you're ready. Oh my goodness. Well, today that was your AcroFlex number 14. I do have a couple announcements as well. We are continuing our series, our everything, as long as it is we want to keep our community and our families to keep moving. Even though we don't have our Firestorms open as of right now, we will let you guys know immediately and as soon as possible, as long as we know that it is safe for you guys. We don't want to give you guys the wrong, date or anything like that. We want to make sure that everyone's okay. We want to make sure that our community and our families are safe. So if you want to help us out as a small business, you guys can stay tuned for our live streams, comment, like, subscribe, notification bell, share it. We might even be doing some cool things with any audience participation. We'll figure it out. But we want to keep you guys engaged as well. But to help us out as a small business, you can keep your membership active or on freeze at any of our facilities. We do have our Orange County location, which is our Firestorm Prime, which is our first location. We have our Firestorm Galaxy, which is our Moreno Valley location. And we have our Firestorm Ultra, which is our Westminster location. So you guys can email our front office. It is on our website. If you guys do have any questions about enrolling your memberships and accumulating classes until we do open up, that would be super awesome. Or if you guys aren't from Southern California and you guys do want to help us out, we do have our PayPal, which we are accepting donations for, which is firestormfreerunning@gmail.com. We are always so excited to have you. Us coaches definitely miss you guys. You guys have slowly become our kids. You're not just your parents' kids, but you're our kids as well. And we hope to see you guys soon. Hashtag or tag us that you guys are following along with us. Hashtag Firestorm at home, hashtag Firestorm, or at our Instagram handle @Firestorm Freerunning. We definitely miss you guys. Feel free to comment any questions. We do our Q&As on Mondays and Wednesdays at 4 o'clock or around Coach Freelove's stretching time for his parkour. If you guys have any suggestions of what you guys want to be seeing as well, that'd be awesome. We don't know how long we're doing this, and the more that we know from you guys of what you guys want to learn, the better that we can prepare our classes. So feel free to comment or even DM us on Instagram, and we'll make sure to get those all to you. I wish you guys the best. Stay active today. If you want to see Coach Freelove in his Little Heroes class, that's going to be today from 10:30 to probably about 11:15, 11 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. That one is a super fun one. Even if you're an adult who's never done classes before, seeing Coach Freelove and doing the Little Heroes class is at least a good mobility drill and a good warm-up for you guys. And then when we open back up, you guys will be joining us for classes too. All right, we'll see you guys around. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye!